That was a lot of fun. I think I've said this before too. I wish we didn't have to win them like that. I wish we could win by like a touchdown or two. But we'll take it. And it was a lot of fun. Good to see our young guys step up and make a lot of big plays. Offensive line, I thought, played amazing for a team that gets probably, I think, one of the most sacked. They sacked the quarterback the most in the NFL. And there were some sacks, but they weren't all on the offensive line. I think there was 4. And those were not all of them were their fault, you know what I mean? So I thought they played extremely well. And Marcel Aitman, how about him, making some big catches, diving. And I think that he's starting to understand the competitiveness, the level that he can play at. And, potential in the NFL just means you haven't done it yet. But I think that he's making some plays to show us that he can be a good player.
Can you explain the pass to Seth Roberts? Jordan said that was the play that's supposed to go to Derek Cook.
Yeah.
But that you threw it to Roberts during practice, maybe on Friday.
Yeah.
And what are you doing?
Yeah.
But you saw something he didn't see, or what?
Yeah, we had like a crossing route for Seth, like coming across the field. And early in the game, we got the look exactly that I wanted, but I didn't want to change the play. I wanted to let the play eat and all those kind of things. But we got the same kind of look with different people covering. They put different bodies in there. And I just told Seth, I think it was a TV timeout or 2-minute warning, if I'm not mistaken. We were in the huddle. And I told him, I said, Seth, if we get too high, I know what you got, but just take the middle. And I'm going to try and pump it one way, and I'm going to throw you the ball if it's too high. And he just, okay. In Seth's natural form, he just said okay. And I threw it. I honestly thought I overthrew it by about 12 yards, and he hit another gear and went and got that ball and kept it off the ground. And I thought that had to be the play of the game by Seth. That catch and that coverage, it was really impressive.
When you did it in practice, did you expect that you'd be doing it in this game, or did you that's the way it played out?
Well, yeah, when you do things in practice, you see opportunity for it, but they have to play the right coverage. They got to play, with certain people in certain positions. You know what I mean? It's not just something that is a foregone conclusion. When we get in this game, this is one of those plays that's for sure going to happen. You just hope that in a certain situation, in a certain set, and all those kind of things, you get a certain look. And they gave it to us, and Seth made the play.
Why did you feel confident going to him? Obviously, it was designed for him to carry. It doesn't really make all the plays.
Yeah.
What did you see out of him, and was that play in general was going to be happy?
Well, Derek to me is one of those joker kind of players. He's one of those tight ends that runs 4.4 and jumps 40-inch vert and all those kind of things, and super explosive. But we have Jared Cook, who's a Pro Bowl tight end, and if he doesn't go to the Pro Bowl, it's a shame. That guy, he's one of the best players in this league. So Derek doesn't get all those reps, right? If Jared wasn't here or wasn't playing, then obviously Derek would be that guy. So there's so much confidence in who he is. And, you talk to Goff or any of those guys that had him before, they loved him. They raved about him, And so the fact that his number was called versus a certain look and all those kind of things, I had 100% confidence. I actually missed him on that same play against Denver. He could have scored again, and it was my fault. I made a mistake on a call, but I told him, I hugged him afterwards. I said I owed you for the one against Denver. So we always have that confidence. He just doesn't get a lot of plays his way. I mean, you saw the seam route. The guy's a heck of a player. Oh man, this is my second favorite win ever. If they were in our division, it'd be first. But it's definitely my second favorite.
After which one?
I'm sorry.
After which one?
Kansas City.
What was the explanation that you got on the what they call the fumble? You think it was
Oh, I thought for sure I was throwing it. It just slipped out of my hand as I was throwing it. It wasn't like it slipped and I dropped it. I didn't get hit, so I knew for sure as the ball went forward, I was like, it just slipped out as I was trying to throw it going forward. And I went to ask in those kind of intense situations. Sometimes they think you're going to come at them, and they're just like, it's confirmed already, and you don't get to conversate about it. So I didn't really get to hear why or what, but it's just one of those things. I thought it was incomplete. I kind of jogged over there looking at the ball just in case, like waiting for a whistle, and then all of a sudden they didn't blow a whistle, so I tried to move my guard and look for the ball, but I thought for sure it was incomplete. Honestly, I I was surprised.
You were sitting at one point this year with like 7 touchdown passes and 8 picks, and it was like, oh, Gruden and Carr, are they going to get along? Is this going to work out?
Yes.
But I think 11 touchdown passes ago with no interceptions. You can vindicate it in any way?
If I don't, I went to Fresno State, and so those are big words for me. No, I'm just kidding. Fresno's an amazing school, everybody. And y'all should all go there, especially all you football players. No, I think being able to show our team that our relationship, this system, we've tried to sell it as hard as we both can. You know, we knew it was going to be a process. We didn't know, stat-wise how it was going to start out, but we knew it would just take time for people to see it, the way that we see it and things like that. And to be able to do that, I think it feels good because it puts a stamp on it like, fellas, if we just continue to do right and just do it this way, then good things can happen. So it does feel good in that way. From like an outside perspective, I know what I'm capable of. You know what I mean? You know me. I know what I'm capable of. I know how to play this game. So I wasn't worried about that stuff unless it was completely false. Then that's different. But those kind of things happen when you lose and it's not going well. But I knew eventually it would change, man. I thank God that we won this game, man, because I think our young guys, the way they played and all those kind of things, it showed them, man, if you give that kind of effort, if you compete that way and you keep doing things the right way, we can beat some of the best teams in the world.
Derek, what is that big follow-up on that, Derek? Why is that early in the season you're losing these games in the second half?
Yeah.
Last week against KC, this game over 100 yards, river and penalties,
Yeah.
you march them all the way down to the end.
Yeah.
What are the differences?
I think early on in the season, now again, I'm dealing with a new play caller, different mindset, different plays, all those things that I'm trying so hard just to do it the right way. And I'm trying to get to the right check and all these things, and I was making mistakes early on. Mistakes in the fact that I'm trying to force something. We've talked about that too. I'm trying to make too much happen. I'm trying to, instead of throwing the check down, you're trying to force that, and because I'm trying to push the ball down the field and all these kind of things. And as I just settled down, and coach grabbed me, he said, Derek, I really don't care about stats or things like that. I just want to see you efficiently do exactly what I tell you. And honestly, when he said that, it was freeing to me because it was almost like I was trying to prove something to him. Like, oh, no, I can do it. No, I can do it. You know what I mean? And it just kind of settled me down. He's a great coach. He calmed me down and just said, man, just do exactly, the way I've taught you. You see things, check this and get to this audible and hand signal this. And if it's this situation, make sure you don't force this, that kind of stuff. And just having those conversations and learning from him, and him just not blowing me off, or him just not, oh man, whatever, he just can't do it. He really sat me down and just talked to me, and we work together. We work really hard together, and I think that is the reason is our communication, which is something else we could laugh at sometimes, but our communication is really what got to this point of just me being able to play free. And just trust, hey man, yeah, sometimes they're going to cover that play. Just live with it because I called it, that kind of thing. So he just tries to make it easy on me, and he's really, really fun to play for.
When do you guys have that position? When do you guys have that?
When?
Yeah.
Oh man, what week is this? 14?
Week 14, yeah.
It had to be early on. It was. I can't. Man, I wish I could remember. It was early on after one of those losses where. Maybe I tried to do something too much or, miss something, and he would just tell me, he'd sit me down. I say sit me down. It wasn't like a come to Jesus moment. I sit down with him every day, for multiple hours. So it's not like that. But in one of those meetings, he just looked at me and said that. And it was freeing for me because he could tell I'm a pleaser. I'm trying to please him, Coach Olsen, Ole, Callie. I'm just trying to please them. I'm trying to do exactly what they want. And they said, man, just relax and do exactly this way, what we tell you. And it was freeing, and I really believe that that's what helped me.
Derek, two more guys.
Things you were just talking about are mental aspects of the game. But
Yeah.
how does that translate to the physical? Because you look more accurate now than you have in time.
Oh, well, we've had, I think I've told you, Thanos showed up and vanished everybody, it takes time to build chemistry with new guys, right? And obviously I knew I had to play better. It doesn't matter who's in there, how many times I've thrown him the ball. You get a guy like Joe LaFell who just shows up one day and you're like, he's our starter, and now I got to get this chemistry. then he gets hurt. Now it's Marcel, you know, then Keon, you know, Johnny's back, you know, and it's been tough, but there's no excuse in this league that you have to produce. You got to complete passes, and I give those guys credit because they continue to work their tails off and just trust, you know, anything I would say, you know, hey, can you do it like this? And another thing is Jordy Nelson is one of the best player coaches I've ever been around in my life. Just having him on our team makes us a better team, you know, let alone what he can do on the field, but just mentally what he can do for everybody. So in certain conversations and things like that. But, you know, obviously one is there's been a lot of different pieces. Two is I just had to play better.
Last one. Your tight ends have been pretty constant. John said Frank Smith for Thursday after he tripped the Weirds tonight.
Oh, wow.
Do you ever think at any point this season?
Yeah. He plugged that, didn't he?
Do you ever think at any point this season you'd be throwing go-ahead touchdowns to police Derek Carr in the fourth quarter?
I mean, I did. I don't know if y'all did, but no, you know, not when we started out. You know, you stand there and you got Jordy Nelson, Amari Cooper, Seth Roberts, and Jared Cook. You know what I mean? And you know, you forget about Derek and Lee quickly in the pass game, right? There wasn't many plays designed for them in training camp. You know, Lee is the blocker heavy guy, you know, all those kind of things, and Derek was, you know, just, you know, playing in Jared's spot, you know, just behind him. And so, you know, I know now to throw to everybody during training camp, take every rep. No one else gets reps anymore. But, you know, it's one of those things where it's so fun to see guys like that come in the fourth quarter and catch go-ahead and game-winning touchdowns because you see their hard work paying off and coming to fruition.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.